Oops, sorry. Hi, everybody. I'm back with another Just the Basics video. This month is all about the basics of stamping for the absolute beginner. And first of all, my name is Wendy. I'm a retired art educator, but I always say, once an art teacher, always an art teacher. I'm here to help you and sometimes your kids get creative, get crafty, and bring out your inner artist. Now, like I said, for the last few weeks and for the next few weeks, I'll be doing the basics of card making, paper crafting, the basics of Stampin' Up. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Stampin' Up is the best, in my opinion, paper crafting company out there. Beautiful stamps, beautiful papers, great colors of ink, you name it. So we're going to learn a little bit about how to do it. Because I've been doing it for over 15 years, and it's just second nature to me. But I realize some of you are beginners, and you might want to know the basics. So last week we learned how to cut a card base and the dimensions for a basic card. You can go back and see that video in my on my YouTube channel, or on my Facebook page. They are both called In the Art Room with Wendy. So today we're going to talk stamps. Let me move this. Okay. Stampin' Up sells stamps, obviously. Okay. And there are a couple of kinds that we sell. They come in sets. Okay. And they usually have a fun name. This one's called Covered in Sunshine. This one's called Beautifully Happy. All kinds. This is a sentiment stamp set, which is basically your words. And this one is a combination of flowers, some background stamps, and some sentiments. Okay, so first let's talk rubber stamps. That's what most of you might be familiar with, is a rubber stamp. And like if you go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and there's not that many of them anymore, but because people are moving away from them, like Stampin' Up has. But in the past, Stampin' Up, and you still see them in some of those stores, their stamps were on wooden blocks. And those were great. I was a wood block purist for a long time, and I did not at first like the new style of stamps. I needed time to get used to them. But now I love them, okay? Stampin' Up does not use wood blocks anymore. Instead, we have two kinds of stamps. We have a cling stamp set. And what a cling stamp set is it looks like the rubber that you would find on the wooden blocks, okay? But you notice there's no wooden blocks, okay? And this one I've already prepared, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So when you get a stamp set that is called a cling stamp set, you've got to prepare it first, okay? I'm going to put that one down because it's sticky. Okay, so what you're going to do is, let's say I want to prepare this one. May the road ahead be brighter than the one behind, lined with wildflowers and covered in sunshine, like that. Okay, so you're going to pop it out. And I find it kind of therapeutic to prepare my stamps. When my new stamps come in, it just is a fun thing to sit down and just prepare them all. So what you do is you pop it out. You take the paper backing off and discard that. Now, each stamp set comes with a little sticker sheet that has the same things as the stamps, okay? So I'm going to flip that over, and I'm going to peel off my sticker. See, there's the sticker. And it is very sticky. Check that out. Okay, super sticky. It is sticky on both sides. You'll see why in a minute, okay? And they're always cut through the middle, so it's easy to get the backing paper off. You're going to pull the backing paper off of that. So now you have this sticky sticker, sticky on both sides, and it is the same as that stamp. The road ahead, blah, 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 okay? So now I just double check, okay, there's the big A, so I want to make sure I put it that way. You're just going to lay, and a stamp that is more shaped, it's easier to figure out which way it goes. This one's a little kind of the same on all sides, but I just checked the letters. And you just lay that there. you have mounted your stamp, and it is sticky, and we'll talk about why we do that later. So I'm going to throw that in here along with this one, and later I will do the rest of this stamp set, okay? Now, our other, and by the way, you can get that stamp set in our mini catalog, it's called. This catalog is good January through April, and Covered in Sunshine, let's see where that is. Covered in Sunshine, page 37. I just thought those big sentiments were kind of cool. So here's Covered in Sunshine, and they give you some great ideas of how to use them. There's the one that I was preparing. Okay? And that's how they look in the catalog. That's how you see what they look like. Okay, so that one you can get in there. All right. The other type of stamp that we have is called a photopolymer set. Now this set is only available for a very short time, along with a few other things in our Celebration flyer, which is going to expire 28 February, at the end of this month. Celebration is a special thing Stampin' Up! Does once a year, where you spend $50, you get something free out of here. You spend $100, you get 2 free things, and so on and so on. So this one, Beautifully Happy, is right there in the flyer. And this one actually was with a $100 purchase. So some of the things, if you spend $100, you get something a little bigger. This has a lot of stamps in it. That's why it was worth a $100 order. But this one, for instance, the stamp set in the country, you can get that for a $50 order. So anyway, this is a photopolymer stamp set. And here's the difference. Photopolymer come on these sheets like this. And I've used this one. I haven't used any of these other ones yet. But you simply peel them off. I'm going to take this really big one. And they're kind of sticky on the back. I don't know if you can see that. They're kind of sticky on the back, and you're going to stick it on a block and stamp with it. Now, what do I mean by sticking it on a block? So those you don't have to prepare. Okay, they're all ready for you. So what do I mean by a block? Well, Stampin' Up! Has these acrylic blocks. Now, this is a fancy carrier. I love this carrier. I have all the Stampin' Up! Blocks and some extras. All different sizes, from little tiny blocks to big, huge blocks. Okay, they're clear. Mine are a little grubby right now. They get grubby, and you just have to clean them off. Sometimes they get adhesive on them, like this one is. Can you see that? Ugh. It's just adhesive and ink, and you can clean them really easy with Glue Gone. I just rub them with Glue Gone, get all the adhesive off, and then I rinse them with soap and water, and they're clean. I just need to do that. We do have this fancy case, but I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to grab a stamp and a piece of scrap paper of our basic white from the photopolymer set. I'm just going to do this smaller flower, okay? So I'm doing this flower right here. It's just right here. Now it is, I need, probably need this block right here. That's a good fit. I maybe could use this block, let's see. And all our blocks in the Stampin' Up! Catalog are, what's really cool is they tell you, like, okay, here's a stamp set. Share a Milkshake stamp set. And it tells you what blocks you need for this stamp set. Block A, B, C, and D. Okay? And each of our blocks has a letter. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but let's say this is B and this is C. And if you get those blocks with the stamp set, then you'll have everything you need to stamp with it. Okay, if you're just starting out and you only want to get 1 or 2 blocks, I would suggest getting something a little bigger, like maybe, excuse me, like maybe one of these blocks, because, hey, you can always put smaller on bigger, okay? But you can't put bigger stamps on a smaller block. Makes sense? So when I got started with these blocks, I bought bigger blocks first, and then I got moved down to the smaller ones, if that makes sense. So I'm going to stick this little guy. He does fit on here, and he just sticks on. He won't fall off. Why am I calling it he? I don't know. Okay, and I'm just going to use some black ink, and I'm going to just ink it up, and that's how it works. Okay, then of course, sorry, pardon my reach, I'm going to wash it off with my Stampin' Scrub. Always wash your stamps off. And you just peel it off. That's the photopolymer stamps. Easy peasy. Put it back in its little case. I love these cases. They're so much easier to store than our old wood stamp cases. These are just like a DVD case, okay? And they just slide in and they're labeled on the side, so they slide in. I have them in like a bookshelf, and I can pull out what I need. Plus, they have a picture of what's in there, a little tiny picture right here, and that helps me pick out what I want. So there's that one. That's the one that you can get for free right now, along with a lot of other cute things. Now let's show how the rubber stamp works. I'm just going to flip this over. Okay, and I'm going to use that rubber stamp that I just prepared. These work the same way. I'm going to need a little bit bigger block, obviously. Okay. I told you the sticker was sticky. Okay. It's not going to fall off. That's right there. Okay. And with a bigger stamp, it's always better to put the ink on the stamp instead of the stamp on the ink, if that makes sense. Okay. You can pick it up and flip it over. And I just stamp until it looks nice and covered. And I'm going to... Now a bigger stamp, you kind of got to press a little bit longer. Make sure you get it all. And there we go. How stinking cute is that saying? I love it. Okay, now wash off. Always wash off. This is our Stampin' Scrub. You always want to wash your stamps. We have, this is the actual scrub. It's two-sided. It's like a, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know, scrubby thing. And we have this is the old bottle. I have an old bottle. I buy bigger bottles and refill. But what's called Stampin' Mist, and you spray one side. I've labeled that side wet, this side dry, and wet, dry, your stamp is done. Your stamp is clean. So, I hope that info was helpful for you, describing our two kinds. Photopolymer are the clear ones. Cling are the rubber ones. You've got to have a block for any of them, but my suggestion, like I said, is go with big blocks first, and then as you increase your collection, get some smaller ones, but you can do a lot with a bigger block. You can put lots of stuff on there, okay? Clean them with Goo Gone and soap and water. Clean your stamps with Stampin' Scrub, or you can clean your stamps with a baby wipe if you're not into getting all that stuff yet. And what else? Don't forget this awesome catalog. There's such cute stuff in there, and lots of good freebies right now. So let me know if you're interested. I'll drop my link in the comments. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you found this helpful. Thanks.